Hello, very warm welcome. Today we are looking at another LeetCode question which is container with most water. This question is being asked in February 3rd week 2021 and is also very fairly commonly used question in any of the interview questions. What the question says is we are given an n non-negative integers which if published into a graph or you can say x and y axis we need to kind of calculate which uh, which particular area is the maximum in terms of water which is being filled off it. So what I mean by that is assuming if I have an array which is containing of height, so assume that to be height of a building, right? What I'm trying to say here is if I if I if I kind of plot that particular height of the array into a x and y axis, so this is say assuming I have, if I look at this example, right, it says 18625. This is the input given to me, right? If plotted into the x and y axis, it looks something like this. So assume this to be a building. Now say if I have if it's raining, right? If it is raining, right? Then how much water will be filled? Which will maximum water which can be filled between the two buildings? This is what the question says. How much water will the maximum be stored between the two buildings, right? So if I look at the example, right, if I take this, right, so let's pass this as well, 0 1, assume, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? So if I go between these two, how much water will be stored here? That will be 9 minus 1, that is the width, into the height 1, that will be 1. Why 1? Because the moment I move a greater than 1, it will spill out from here, right? So that is something which we don't want, right? So it will be 1. Now, so that will be your maximum height, max area. This will be 1 9. Now if I look at the next one, so this one is 7 and 8, right? 7 and 8, what is the minimum of these two? That is your 7, right? Now if I look at this, then I'll do 7 into 9 minus 2, 7, that will be 49. So 49 is this area, right? And then if I look at this one, similarly this one we need to calculate all the areas which can be possible, right? Or this one, right? So if i if I calculate all these areas, we need to see which area is the highest, right? So with that as a base, let's talk about the approach we are going to have. So if you see, right, in a way, what we are doing is the we are comparing the values, right? We are comparing the values of the heights, and then we are taking an action. So what we are going to do here is, so we'll say, okay, I'll have an, this is again, sorry, miss that, it will be a two-pointer approach, right? It will be a two-pointer approach. Now, wherein I'll start from here and I'll start from here, and I'll see what is the height of a given building, right? Uh, say assuming, say I'm at this index, I is equal to 1 and j is equal to, what is the max, the you can see the last element of that, the last value of the given height array. So this will be h of 0 and h of 8, right? Now h of 8, right? So what that is, like, that is 1 and this is 9, right? What is the minimum of these two? That is 1, right? 1 into, I'll multiply by what is the difference, whichever we just discussed, right? That will be, say, 9 minus 1, that is 8. So that will be your 8. 8 is the area of this building. Now, I got, when I moved to the first indexes, I got the area, right? Then what I need to do is, okay, if my height of this one is greater than the other one, I'll see which height is greater, right? If that height is greater, then I'll keep that with me. I'll reiterate. If I have, in when I'm moving my indexes left or right, because I have to move I this side and j this side, right? I'll keep the index which is of the higher height, because that's where I'll get the maximum area. So if I compare this height 0 and height 9 with the value 9 index, if I see, okay, this height is less than this height because this is 1, this is 7. So I'll move I plus plus and I'll come to this one. Okay. I'll again, in case it's a bit confusing, I'll compare both of the heights. Whichever height is lesser, I'll move that index. If I put it in a straightforward manner. So in this case, if I move I, because this is 1, this is 7, I move I, h of 1 becomes 8 and h of j was anyway 7. That becomes 8 into, sorry, that becomes 7 into, because again, I'll say again, go back and check which one is minimum. I got 7 and 7 into whatever the difference index is 9 minus 2, right? That will be 49. So 49 is now my highest. I'll compare this 49 with my 8 and 49 is my highest. Similarly, I'll compare, okay, 8 and 7, which one is higher? I have 8. Then I'll do j minus minus, I'll be here, right? Then I'll get this area. Is this area greater than 49? No, it will not be, because that will be your 3 into 8 minus 2, 6, which is your 18. So that I'm going to again see which height is greater. My I is still greater. Then I'll do I minus minus, sorry, j minus minus. I'll come at this index. Now I'll multiply these two. This is what is the maximum height? It is 8. Then 8 into 7 minus 2, 5. That is 5. 40, right? So 40 is greater than 49? No. So 49 is a greater value, highest value, which this particular array or this particular array of buildings will still say it rains, right? I think you would have understood what we are trying to achieve here. I think when we write the code, it will be way easier, right? So let's quickly jump on the code and see what we need to do. First, we'll create int I is equal to 0, which is your starting index, or let's make it start index. That is easier, right? Start index. And one is int end index. End index will be height dot length minus 1, right? What I'll say is, okay, I have to create a max. I like to look for maximum area, right? So what I'll do is I'll do lim32.min value. That means I'll start with the min, because that's where we use max functions. But let's say while my I is less than j, that means I am looking at all the buildings while I is less than j, because this is going to go this side, this is going to go this side. I'll say while I is less than j, I'll say what my max will be. That will be math dot max, right? Max comma. Now this is where the thing is. Math dot min, whichever is the whichever array index is of the lowest value, right? So that will be height of start index comma height of end index, right? So again, so this is where we talk about, right? If I am at this and this, if I am at say 1 and I'm at the last one, this is the minimum one, right? This is the minimum one. If this is the minimum one, because if the moment I cannot pick the higher one, because it will anyways spill off from the lower building height, right? So I took the minimum one and I'll multiply it by area. Area will be what? Area will be j minus I, because sorry, in this case end index minus start index, right? So this is the area calculation. So I took the minimum height of the both of the indexes and then multiplied whatever the difference in the sense of width of it, right? And that will anyways, whichever will be maximum value will be stored here. Then I'll again check which height is greater. Height of start is greater than height of end index. If the start index is greater, I'll maintain that index, right? End index minus minus, else start index plus plus. This is it. I think this should do the trick. Return max. Okay, let's run it. Okay, int does not exist. Habits. Okay, got finished. I got 49, 49 as a result. Let's submit it. it got accepted. So this is it. This, if you see, right, the moment you try to simplify the problem, it became way easier. I hope you would have understood the explanation and what transpired behind writing this line of codes. In case you still have any questions, any doubts, please do reach out in the comment sections. In case you like this explanation, please do hit the like button, and please do subscribe if you've not subscribed, so that whatever video I make next, you are able to get it them first. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.